What the hell is an authentic listener? Someone who doesn't care if he or she is right or wrong. Someone who doesn't care if, well, I got to get my point across. I don't care if they think what. No, it's not about that. It's being an authentic listener. Hey, thanks for bringing that to my attention.
That's a significant mindset shift, though, what you're talking about, which is what I love. You always bring both sides to it, right? You bring this practical, what you got to do, but most importantly, what always drives that is the mindset. And you're touching on something that is critical. There are entrepreneurs and people who self-identify as entrepreneurs. They're starting businesses, they're starting startups, they take more risk. There's what arguably you could say is a specific DNA, but you're arguing that everyone should adapt this mindset, whether they're intrapreneurs or people who are working for companies, or whether they are entrepreneurs starting their own businesses or building their own brands. And so talk to me a little bit more about mindset. And I know you're a two-time New York Times bestselling author that really brought out that mindset and your work with the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Talk to me about how those tried and true mindset shifts are now being applied to this new AI dynamic.
Mindset matters. And the four elements that I always go back to in terms of mindset, health set, soul set, and heart set. The heart set, what are you passionate about? The mindset, vision, and sight. You know, you look at all the, I love that Steve Jobs says, this is to the, this is to the dreamers, this is to the believers, this is to the naysayers, all the folks who were thrown under the bus. Those are the folks who believe that they can change the world, because those folks who believe they can change the world usually do. So what can we gain out of that particular little case study? I don't care what you do for a living, but sooner or later, you got to be constantly curious. Constantly curious. There's a question out there that you probably want answered. There's something that, you just I want to know how that works. I want to know, why is that always blah, blah, blah. That fireside chat when I had with Portia, and we were talking about, why would you want a seat at the table when the table was erected? It didn't have you in mind. Well, the bottom line in terms of inclusion is the ability to accept an idea where it comes from in the organization. Well, part and parcel of inclusion is being curious and being an authentic listener. Listen to that, an authentic listener. What the hell is an authentic listener? Someone who doesn't care if he or she is right or wrong. Someone who doesn't care if, well, I got to get my point across. I don't care if they think what. No, it's not about that. It's being an authentic listener. Hey, thanks for bringing that to my attention. You clarified that for me, and I am ever so grateful. Well, that's where you got to be right now. That's where you have got to be right now. And I love the story about Janetta Cole. Janetta Cole, she taught at Spelman College for 10 years. She taught from 1988 to 1998. Her last commencement service, her house, the president's house, is in the middle of the campus at Spelman College. It is a very modest white building, White House, that you might see in everyday America. No look at me, no grandiosity, no flair, nothing dramatic, just an ordinary, modest house in the middle of that campus. And she shares the story. She just got through, and their commencement is always on a Sunday. And of all the schools in the AUC, Spelman is the last one on that Sunday. So that Monday morning, here she is in her house. She knows it's her last commencement, and there's a knock at the door. She goes to the door, and one of the graduating seniors, the day before, now she's a graduate who graduated, who marched on the stage, came by and said, Dr. Cole, my parents are here, and we just packed up my belongings, and I just want to say goodbye. I graduated yesterday, and I have completed my learning. And Janetta Cole hugged that child and said, that's funny. Said, here I am in my 60s, and I have just begun my learning. I say that to say this. It's a constant evolution. This being curious, being an authentic listener, looking for ways of constant improvement, See yourself as a startup. How can you include the, make the processes? How can you get the value add? How can you over deliver and under promise? And how can artificial intelligence highlight everything that you do better than everybody